We saw last year as a bit of a testing phase. Obviously we're learning as we're going along. But it went fairly well. There's room for improvement and some adjustments that will be made. So we will be introducing those this year as well. So all in all, we did what we could within the reality of what transpired next year or last year. But this year, we really need to pick up the pace.
With all of this, knowing that COVID-19 is not about to go away overnight, how are you going to try and work around it to ensure that implementation is fully realized despite the challenges that we're facing?
Yeah, so what we're doing is, and I agree with you. So personally, I think, I would rather work currently on a worst case scenario. I'm an optimist, but let's assume that the current situation may be lingering for a large part of this year at least. So I think real normality may only return towards the very end of this year or beginning of next year. So what we've asked our public enterprises to do, and we're assisting them, is to realign all the integrated strategic business plans according to the current realities we are facing. And again, not for them to assume a better case scenario under the circumstances. So at least for those operating in the agricultural sector, things look very good at the moment. Obviously, it's raining. I'm incredibly happy to see the dams filling up, the new Neckartal Dam at over 40%, which is creating fantastic opportunities for irrigation. But all in all, yeah, so very realistic business plans, realigning those, and then equally prioritizing for the shareholder. We've got limited ability to intervene and to provide subsidies, and we need to limit those, especially to our commercial public enterprises. So really going to put them under a lot of pressure to attain commercial viability as soon as possible and profitability, because the shareholder will simply not be able to sustain some of these any longer.
Overall, the mandate of the ministry has been on reforming the governance architecture. How are you faring in this regard, especially when it comes to the effectiveness of public enterprises to become efficient and effective and to provide the expected effective public services?
So the reality is, as you would know, we are all consumers of these products and services, that some of the public enterprises are faring fairly well, very well, in fact. Others much less so, So we have a very good understanding of what the shortcomings are, and of course we need to address those as soon as possible. Ultimately, I can tell you, they obviously, some of them operate in more difficult environments at the moment. So the aviation industry, the tourism industry, are two industries that are severely impacted at the moment. It's very difficult for them. But with others, I think we also need to give credit where credit's due. So for instance, Nampower is doing incredibly well. I know we're complaining that we are paying high tariffs compared to other countries in the sub-region, which is true. But again, we've not had a single period of any breakdowns, no major disruptions. So, and again, if one were to calculate the effect of those, of load shedding that we're seeing in South Africa, the unpredictability of that, it's far more damaging to the economy than paying slightly higher tariffs are, So we've maintained very good supply of energy and security there. Of course, Nampower are making major contributions and commitments to new investments and new infrastructure that will be brought along. MTC is performing incredibly well, and we hope to continue with the listing of MTC on the stock exchange this year. And then I must say, within our commercial portfolio, considering the reality of current circumstances, we are not doing too bad. I know we had a difficult 2020. I personally, and I'm by nature an optimistic person, but I really believe that as Namibians, we should embrace the challenges that we are now accustomed to, and really embrace the new year and tackle that and again fight the pandemic, be responsible, act accordingly, and then we need to save our economy and save jobs and take the country to the next step